Hey guys, welcome back. Just wanted to summarize a quick trip from today's adventure. Went out to Percy for a few hours before we went out and watched the Masters tournament this afternoon. So had an opportunity to fish Percy Lake from 7 to 9 o'clock or so this morning. So probably a little over 2 hours of fishing, and temperature wise, I want to say it's around 50 degrees outside. It was really cloudy, had a little mist in the rain, and water temperature was around 57 degrees. Water clarity was actually pretty clear. You know, I launched over there by the Smith Springs area, and if you're not familiar with that area, it's more towards the lakeside and away from the river. And so I feel like around Smith Springs the water's typically pretty clear. I know we've had a lot of rain over the last couple of days, and so I knew I only had about two and a half hours to fish today, so I kept it pretty simple and only brought 4 rods, tied on 4 different lures. And let me talk a little bit about the lures that I chose and why I chose those lures. First item up is a swing head on a missile bait destroyer. This is the black and blue, and this is what it looks like. Color wise, it's called the Bruiser Flash. And so the reason that I chose this bait is it's a big old profile. I don't know if you can tell on the camera or not, but I wanted something that would that I could fish off the bottom if those fish were relating to the bottom. I like that swing head because I can just throw it out there and just wind back and just wind it in, and it gives it great action. This is almost like a crankbait, but in a soft plastic version that you can just reel on the bottom. And so, you know, right now it's early April, and I feel like the fish are feeding, and there's some big ones out there, and so I'm gonna be throwing big baits to get those big bites. And so that was my bottom lure. Another big bottom lure, another lure that I don't normally throw, is a spinner bait. This one is made by Berkeley. Went with a big single Colorado blade. I thought the water was gonna be a little dirty out there, but I wanted something to create a lot of vibration. It's got a 6-cent swim bait on there, and this lure again is, I think, 3/4 ounce to fish within that 8 to 15 foot range. Chugging this thing out there, slow winding it. I feel like I can cover a lot of water with the spinner bait, and so that's why I chose this guy. The third lure that I chose was a little Rocco. This is made by Rapala. This guy dives down to about 5 to 6 feet, and I like this shad pattern because we have threadfin shad and gizzard shad out on Percy Lake, and I know a lot of folks are throwing red color baits, and so I like to throw something a little different. This is the third lure that I had tied on to cover some water today. And lastly, the fourth lure that I had tied on was a Mega Bass Vision 110 +1. You can see what that guy looks like. Now the reason I chose this color is, I don't know if the camera is gonna wash it out or not, but it's got a yellow belly on there, as we have yellow bass, and again sticking with that shad color profile, as everyone else is throwing something red color, and so I want to throw something a little different. I think this guy dives down to about 6 to 8 feet depending on the line and how long your cast is and all other good stuff. And so again, 4 different lures to cover all the different parts of the water column. And again, you know, only had like 2.5 hours to fish, and so I wanted some moving bait, something that I can cover some water, and to see if I can find those fish. Now, from a rod and reel perspective, what I throw my jerk bait on is this Iconelli rod. I believe it's a 6/8. It's got a loose reel. I want to say this is like a 7-speed with 12-pound fluorocarbon. And then the other rod and reel that I like to use, especially with a square bill, is a Shimano X-Pride B. This one is a 610 medium graphite glass composite. It's also got a Shimano Titanium reel with 12-pound test, and I believe this is also a 7-speed reel. But let's talk a little bit about the areas that I was targeting today. I really thought those fish would be pushed up shallow, being that it's early April. Figure the fish are feeding, getting ready to spawn, and all those good things, but you know, didn't get a bite in coves. the first hour or so when we were fishing, so decided to move out to a main lake point, and was able to finally get a fish in the boat after fishing for about an hour and a half or so. And so this smallmouth came on a Mega Bass Vision 110. You know, I was fishing it in about 6 to 8 foot of water, and surprisingly the smallmouth hit it pretty close to the boat, and so it took a while for that fish to commit, but nice little solid smallmouth keeper. I think the fish was just a little over 18 inches, weighing in around 3.3 pounds, and so felt pretty good to catch a nice little keeper there with only an hour and a half or so of fishing. With that said, try to fish a similar pattern and fish main lake points, and so went out and tried to find some other main lake points with the few minutes we had left fishing, and my brother was able to catch one little smallmouth bass on a swim jig. Nothing video worthy, but hey, we were able to catch a fish. That's all we got going on today, guys. Like I said, only had a chance to fish for 2 hours or so. Just took limited tackle. It's a nice day out there with a little cloud cover, a little mist. I'm sure some guys will come in with some big bags today, but I'm finish up editing this video and have a few drinks and food and watch the Masters the rest of the day, and maybe we'll get out there on Sunday and see if we can find another fish or two. I appreciate y'all watching. I'll talk to y'all soon. See ya. Bye.